We need all American. We do not need to be buying our fuel from countries like Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Venezuela. Energy independence is the key. And let me say this. If they had been voting like me 8 years ago and 9 years ago, we wouldn't be in that situation now because we'd already be drilling in ANWR and OCS. They should have been listening to me, and now a lot are on board, and I'm glad. And I would point out this. If you have a no-drill policy in ANWR like Tom Perriello and Barack Obama want, we're going to be even further behind.
Well, I'll get to my plan in a second, but I can't let that stand. That's a ridiculous proposition that we would not be in an oil crisis now if we'd started drilling 7 or 8 years ago. The Bush administration's own figures...
please, you're taking time away from your candidate.
That it would be only 2 cents on the gallon. You voted against fuel efficiency standards. That's why my pickup truck only gets 13 miles to the gallon instead of 30 miles to the gallon. I could have half the gas bill right now, but you voted against that repeatedly. The fact is, I support drilling too, and I support drilling off the shelf, and I think that we need to explore it, but I'm not going to stand here and tell people it's going to solve the problem tomorrow, because it's not. That's just not true. You also said that China's drilling off of Cuba, a fact that Vice President Cheney himself refuted. We need to solve this problem with facts. We need to solve this problem with reality, not with slogans. The fact is, we need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this problem. Energy independence is our #1 national security threat. It's our #1 economic opportunity and our #1 environmental threat. But we need to get the big oil money out of politics. The fact is, both parties have been bought and sold by the same special interest in oil companies. Congressman Goode is ranked in the top 3% of all members of Congress in terms of personal holdings in big oil stocks, up to $200,000 worth of big oil stocks. Over $100,000 contributed to the campaign from there. Now, we're not going to see a serious challenge to the status quo when we continue to see politicians from both parties who are funded by those special interests. So whether it's conservation in the home or whether it's the big-scale investments of infrastructure, we have got to get people in there who are responsive to the people and not to the special interests.
Oil stocks are small in percentage of my portfolio. I bet his percentage, although less than a dollar value, is probably more than mine. And you know, he doesn't have a problem supporting a candidate, and this is Mark Warner's disclosure statement. He's got a Bank of America checking account. It's got between $500,000 and $1 million in a checking account. I'm not begrudging former Governor Warner. I commend him for being a sharp businessman, for investing and saving. But I'm not out here criticizing him because he has in his checking account he's got more money in his checking account than I've ever had in anything. And you can go look at it. And he's looked at mine and putting his spin on it. But when you look at it, I guess he says because I own a little Exxon stock, and mine is minuscule compared to the $5.5 billion. Not $5.5 billion. It's $5.5 billion. Shares out there, and I can tell you mine isn't even a fraction of what they have, and he owns some in the Vanguard Fund, and I don't, it's right there, but you can go look at my disclosure form, you can look at his, you can look at Senator Warner's, and you can assume Senator Obama and Senator McCain have their disclosure forms right there too.
Thank you, Virgil.
Mr. Gibson.
Now,